Scene 1. The heatwave. The summer of 2019 broke every record in Blackwood Hollow, Mississippi. The Mississippi sun turned the cotton fields into a burning furnace. Even at midnight, the air felt like it was coming straight from hell. Marcus Webb and his wife Diana lived in a small house on the edge of town. Marcus worked the fields from sunrise to sunset. One evening, walking home from the fields, Marcus spotted something strange on the side of the old dirt road near Cypress Creek Cemetery. Hey, when did that old rusted field get? His buddy Ray, walking beside him, suddenly went, "It's been there for years, Marcus. Can't touch it." "Why? There's a ghost in it." Marcus laughed. "Don't joke. Every old-timer in Blackwood says anyone who took it home had something terrible happen. Y'all country folks see ghosts in everything." Marcus ignored Ray completely. Scene 2. The cooler comes home. Next morning, Marcus loaded the rusty old cooler onto his pickup truck and brought it home. That evening, the town electrician Jimmy Cole came to look at it. The moment Jimmy opened the back panel, a wave of rotten, sickening smell exploded. "Good Lord, what I asked that to?" Jimmy shined his flashlight inside. Then he froze. A single silver anklet sat inside the cooler, punished back, like it had been sitting in darkness for decades. "This is real strange. Never seen anything like this before." Jimmy picked up the anklet. His face went white instantly. "Jimmy, man, why are you shaking?" Something just grabbed my wrist." Marcus laughed, but Jimmy did not laugh. Scene 3 to 12 a.m. At night, the cooler room. Everything seemed normal, but at exactly midnight, the room was incredibly cold for a Mississippi scene. The cooler was running. Marcus felt then a whisper caught in the cold. "Get me out of here." Marcus sat there. "Ah." He told himself it was a dream. Then the voice came again, clearer this time. "It's so dark in here." He looked at the cooler's front grill. For a long moment, nothing. Then, behind the metal grill, a woman was standing there. Long dark hair, head hanging down. Marcus grabbed his flashlight and ran toward it. When the light hit the grill, nothing was there. Scene 4. The truth begins. Morning came. Marcus told Diana everything. "I told you not to bring that thing home," Diana said, her voice shaking. That evening, Marcus called Ray and Jimmy over. The three men decided they would sit together the next night and find out what was happening. At midnight, they cut the power cord completely. For people sat in front of the cooler in dead silence. The room temperature began dropping. In the middle of a Mississippi summer, their breath started making fog in the air. How was it this cold? Then, without electricity, the cooler's fans started spinning. Slow at first, then faster, then violently fast. Diana screamed. From inside the cooler came the sound of a woman sobbing, like someone who had been trapped and crying for years and years. Then a face appeared behind the group. White eyes, wild dark hair, dried blood on cracked lips. For so many years, someone finally opened the cage. All four of them ran out of that house and didn't stop running without seeing five, the elder nuns. Next morning, they drove to the oldest man in Blackwood Hollow, old Earl Hutchins, 89 years old, who had lived in that town. Earl listened to everything he said. Then he spoke slow. "The woman you saw, her name was Clara Mae Johnson." "Who was she?" "A woman this town murdered, and called it justice." Silence fell over the room, like a stone. Scene 6. Clara's story. Earl told them everything. Clara Mae Johnson was a black healer woman in Blackwood Hollow back in 1974. She knew plants, roots, and heard them. She treated poor families for free and couldn't afford. A doctor, but the town's most powerful, Clara Fairweather, had his eye on the land near Cypress. Fine cotton grown in northern and she let Whitmore's older brother Roy down on Clara saw. He spread the word that Clara Mae had used witchcraft to kill Roy. The town exploded. An angry mob dragged Clara Mae through the streets of Blackwood Hollow to the town square. Clara wept. She screamed she was innocent. She begged them to listen. Nobody listened. Before they killed her, she said, "The day the truth comes to light, that is the day I will finally rest." Scene 7. The haunting spreads. That night, Marcus sat alone on his porch. He heard the sound of an anklet jingling. The sound moved slowly closer. His throat went completely dry. The cooler in the house switched on by itself. Marcus! The voice came through the darkness. Marcus, can you hear me? What do you want? He whispered. A long silence. Then one word. Truth. For the first time, Marcus felt no fear. Only the weight of something deeply wrong that had been buried for 50 years. See, pig. The next night, all four sat before the cooler. At midnight, smoke gathered behind the grill. Clara Mae appeared. This time her eyes held no rage. Only pain. If we can help you, tell us how. Marcus said. Clara spoke slowly. My death was hidden from this me. But people spread it out. 2 infirmaries. Then old Earl Hutchins heard the news of Prince turned to ash. One of them was my older brother. Everyone stared at me. Tears ran down on his face. I always suspected. I was a coward. I never tried to find the truth. Do not without it. Strange things began to happen in the world of Blackwood Hollow. Crying sounds in the night. A woman in white appearing on porches, then vanishing. Dogs howling for hours. The whole town lived in terror. Then old Earl remembered something. A wooden chest in his dead brother's house. Forgotten for decades. Marcus and Ray broke it open after hours of searching. Inside was an old leather journal. It belonged to Dr. Samuel Price. I could call this doctor in 1970. They opened it, shook. The entry was dated October 14th, 1970. Therefore, Ray Whitmore died of tuberculosis. His illness had been progressing for 14 years. His death had absolutely no connection to any other kind of population. The room had bedside. Mirrors. News and lies. The school had not heard. Scene 10. Telling me. The next morning, every person in Blackwood Hollow gathered to its front. Hundreds of people. Marcus placed Dr. Price's urn on a table in front of everyone. Then old Earl Hutchins stood up. His voice shook like a dying tree in wind. 50 years ago, this town murdered an innocent woman. Her name was Clara Mae Johnson. And tonight, I'm going to tell you exactly who did it and why. He read every page of the journal out loud. When he finished, the entire crowd sat in silence with their heads down. Then an old man in the back slowly raised his hand. He was the son of one of the 4 accusers. Before my daddy died, he told me the same truth. But I was too scared to ever say it out loud. I'm sorry. God help me, I'm sorry. No one doubted the truth anymore. That same evening, the town built a memorial stone near Cypress Creek Cemetery. It read, Clara Mae Johnson, an innocent woman destroyed by ignorance and greed. Blackwood Hollow will never forget what it did, and will never let it happen again. 1941 to 1974. Scene 11, the final night. That night, Marcus, Diana, Ray, Jimmy, and old Earl gathered one last time around the cooler. The room was completely silent. Then the cooler switched on by itself. But this time, sound was not terrifying. It sounded like a long, exhausted breath of relief after 50 years of waiting. Soft white light being thrown to her. Clara Mae appeared, and her face was complete. The house perfume was screaming and throwing itself against the walls. It appeared as the bedroom window, gripping the iron window bars, its pillar of white eye burning in the darkness. Its face was twisted and blunt, its long black hair pointing around it. Clara Mae had arrived by now with 2 decades. He took one look at the window and radiated it. The Cooper stepped forward and said in his thin, warrior voice, the same way that always believed in Hollow Creek. Tom and the other neighbors had already brought cans of kerosene. Ryan looked at Sarah. She nodded. Ryan looked at the house one last time. The house they had dreamed about. The house they had worked so hard for. Nodded too. The neighbors poured the kerosene around the face of the house, and Tom touched a torch to it. The flames rose fast and bright against the black Oregon sky. Inside the house, the screaming blew up in the southern sky. The windows glowed orange. Fire floated up into the night. By the time the fire department arrived, the windows were black, smoldering flames. And the roof that followed the town of Hollow Creek slowly became more. A strange feeling in the air was it stopped arguing. Children played outside. The neighbors came together and helped Ron and Sarah build a new home on a different piece of land.
talked much about what he had seen, but sometimes late at night when the wind moved through the pine trees outside and blew over the window, he would lie awake and listen. And Sarah would reach over in the dark and take his hand, and they both knew that whatever had lived in the darkness of Hollow Creek was gone. But neither of them ever quite stopped listening.